So this is Scott R. Tipton's response or his justification for the Plutocrat tax cut, the tax cut for the 1%. The 87% of the rest of us, our taxes are going to go up. So it's a Plutocrat tax cut. And this is the 3rd Congressional District, so that would be the people of Moffat County and Rio Blanco, Garfield. There's 20 different counties, actually. So, Garfield, Rio Blanco, Moffat, are you paying attention? Are you listening? The county of San Miguel County, Mesa County, Delta County, Montrose County. This is your representative, and this is his response. I'm just going to read it straight through verbatim. November 21st, 2017, Scott R. Tipton, 3rd Congressional, U.S. Congressional Representative, on the Plutocrat tax cuts. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will help Colorado. November 21st, 2017, in the news Steamboat Today. This past week, the House of Representatives took a historic step forward and passed a comprehensive tax reform package. The last time the tax code was reformed was back in 1986, during the great 1980s, when Ronald Reagan made everything perfect. And since 1986, the tax code has become convoluted, burdensome, and it's started working against Colorado families and businesses. The tax code is beating up the families, and it is past time for tax reform. And the House delivered on its promise to provide relief for Americans at every income level. In my travels around the 3rd Congressional District, I have met and spoken with many hardworking Coloradans who are living paycheck to paycheck. They are single parents who work 2 jobs 7 days a week, but they still cannot pay their bills. They're the small business owners on Main Street who are weighed down by federal regulations and a tax code that punishes them for being successful. Is that what the tax code was doing? It's like, wait a second, you're successful? They are families who are forced to make the difficult decision of paying their mortgage or putting food on the table, despite the pleas for help from their constituents. Some lawmakers in Washington voted to keep our current harmful tax code in place. There are some in Congress who would prefer to preserve tax loopholes for special interest, such as the Southern Gangsters, the SG Interest, the oil and gas company which owns Scott Tipton. He's Mr. Special Interest. I'm sorry, he was sitting there saying, there are some in Congress who would prefer to preserve tax loopholes for special interest, such as SG Interest, the gas and oil company from Houston, Texas, because that's who Scott Tipton works for. He don't give a shit about the people of Moffat County. He cares about what SG Interest, they gave him $6,000. He cares more about their interest. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. So, there are some in Congress who would prefer to preserve tax loopholes for special interests and tell Americans how they should spend their money rather than deliver relief for families and job creators. Oh, the 1%, the plutocrats. These are the same individuals who characterize the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act as a tax cut for the rich. Bernie Sanders says it's the biggest looting ever. It's the biggest crime ever in terms of stealing. Despite independent analysis that shows it will help Americans at every tax level, especially Americans at the low and middle income level. Oh, wow. Holy shit, this was actually good for the poor and the homeless. This was for the homeless. Now the homeless don't have to pay all the taxes. It was the taxes that was preventing the homeless from really just skyrocketing to the top. The tax reform bill will reduce the number of tax brackets from 7 to 4, reducing tax rates for those who need it most. Under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, individuals who are currently taxed in the lowest bracket at 10% will have an effective tax rate of 0%. So that's nice. if you're in the lowest bracket, if you're the poorest of the poor. So homeless people, you don't have to pay any more taxes. Don't even worry about filing your income taxes. You don't have to pay anymore. To all the homeless people out there listening to this YouTube video on the internet, individuals in the second lowest tax bracket who are currently taxed at 15% will be taxed at 12% under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So that means just everybody is paying less taxes, less federal taxes apparently. If you're in the poorest bracket, you got a 0 tax rate. If you're in the second poorest, you only got to pay 12%. So for the homeless, you got 0% taxes, and for the poor, only 12% now. The legislation doubles the standard deduction, so hard-working families can keep more of their paychecks. It doubles the standard deduction. This is extremely important in the 3rd Congressional District because data from the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, shows that 70% of individuals and family claim the standard deduction. By doubling the standard deduction, the first $12,000 for individuals and $24,000 that families take home each year will be free from federal income tax, putting that money straight back into the taxpayer's pocket. That's what doubling the standard deduction for the first $12,000 that individuals make. You get to keep every dime of that for free. That $12,000, just put it in your pocket. And for those who make $24,000, also totally free. So, that's nice, right? Free taxes. No, we don't have to pay nothing. Another widely spread misconception about this legislation is that it will only help major corporations. This accusation is inaccurate. The truth is, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will also help Colorado's small businesses, which are truly the backbone of our economy. Under our current tax code, small businesses can be taxed at a rate as high as 44.6% and are also currently taxed on the money they reinvest in their business to expand and create more jobs. The tax reform legislation that passed the House will correct this blunder by capping the rate at which small businesses can be taxed to 25%. As a former small business owner myself, I am all too familiar with the obstacles in place that punish small businesses rather than empower them to do what they do best, create good paying jobs. How many people are employed by SG Interest? SG, the Southern Gangsters from Houston, Texas, the people that Scott R. Tipton worked for. He gets $6,000 from them. Are they creating jobs? No, they're stealing your raw materials. They're stealing your fucking gas and your oil and making sure that the 4 individuals that own the damn company are making bank. That's what Scott R. Tipton wants. So this is, under our current tax code, small businesses can be taxed at a rate as high as nearly 45%, early currently taxed on the money they reinvest in their business to expand and create more jobs. The tax reform legislation that passed the House will correct this blunder by capping the rate at which small businesses can be taxed to 25%. Of course, protect small businesses, but the Plutocrats always hide behind small businesses. As a former small business owner myself, he used to be a pottery owner. He used to make pottery like the Native Americans did 14,000 years ago. I'm all too familiar with the obstacles in place that punish small businesses rather than empower them to do what they do best, create good paying jobs by reducing the tax rate for small businesses. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will allow the 57,000 small business owners in Colorado's 3rd Congressional District to keep their doors open to create jobs in their communities. 57,000 small businesses. That's the reason he actually passed this. It was really for those 57,000 small business owners. In short, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act would be good for Colorado. A recent study by the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation, I'm sure it's nonpartisan, estimates that under the new tax plan, Colorado will add 15,993 new jobs, and median income families will see a $2,682 increase in their income. The duty now falls to the United States Senate to champion tax reform for the American people. I look forward to working with my colleagues in both the House and the Senate to finalize a comprehensive tax reform plan that delivers the relief Coloradans and all Americans need and deserve. So there you have it. Scott R. Tipton is watching out for you, the 3rd Congressional District. And this includes Pueblo County. It includes Huerfano County, Custer County, Castillo County, Alamosa County, Rio Grande County, Conejos County, Archuleta County, La Plata County, Montezuma County, Dolores County, San Juan County, Hinsdale County, Mineral County, Alamosa County, Saguache County, Gunnison County, Pekin County, Lake County, most of Eagle County, Routt County, Jackson County, Moffat County, Rio Blanco County, Garfield County, Mesa County, Delta County, Montrose. Are you listening to me, Montrose? Ouray, hey, Ouray County, San Miguel County, Dolores County, San Juan County. You listening? Hey, San Juan, Montezuma, San Juan, San Miguel. Can you hear me? Moffat, are you listening? Jackson, Gunnison, Mineral, Rio Grande, Alamosa, Pueblo, Castillo, Huerfano, Custer. That was a message from Scott R. Tipton about this great plutocrat tax cut that's going to save us all. Now, none of us are going to be burdened with taxes, and you know what? Everything's just going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Just have faith. That's all you need.